Imagine standing at the threshold of time, where the echoes of eternity whisper secrets only the soul can hear. Have you ever wondered, did we exist before we were born? It's a question that stretches beyond our earthly understanding and taps into the divine nature of existence itself. In the Bible, we find hints of this profound truth. Theft or knowledge of God, as found in verses like Jeremiah 1 verse 5, reveals that our souls are intricately woven into His design long before we draw our first breath. So what does this mean for you? It means you are never alone, and God has a purpose for your life before you even take your first steps. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe and share in the comments where you're from or how Jesus has touched your life. Remember, may Jesus bless you and guide you every step of the way. In the tapestry of existence, woven by the divine hands that created the cosmos, each soul is considered a thread meticulously placed according to an eternal plan. This concept of an eternal design is not just a comforting thought, but a profound truth echoed throughout the Scriptures. The Bible articulates this belief in the grand narrative of God's foreknowledge and predestination, weaving a tale that transcends our temporal understanding. As we delve deeper into this eternal plan, we come to realize the intricate ways in which each soul is interwoven into a divine framework that spans beyond time and space. Ephesians 1 verse 4 sheds light on this mystery, declaring that God chose us in Him before the foundation of the world. This verse serves as a pivotal point for understanding the scale and depth of God's plan. It's not merely about our biological existence, but emphasizes that each soul is a deliberate choice, an intention formed within the heart of God before the physical universe came into being. The language of predestination reveals a God who is intimately involved with creation, knowing each soul personally and envisioning a path for it even before the first star was spoken into existence. In contemplating this, we appreciate that our existence is not left to mere chance or the randomness of evolutionary processes. Instead, we are significant pieces of a grand, eternal puzzle. The moment we understand our place in God's plan, our lives gain a new dimension. This realization challenges us to live with purpose and intention, recognizing that our actions and decisions echo an eternal significance. We are not simply passing through this world, but are active participants in a divine drama, each with roles beautifully penned by the Almighty Author. Genesis 1 verse 1 marks the beginning of time and the material world when God spoke light into existence. Yet this beginning is far from the start of all that truly is. Before there was time, there was God, and with God, there was purpose. Here, the principle of an eternal order and divine origin brings profound implications for our spiritual reality. The visible creation is thus the starting point of our physical journey, but our spiritual story began in the mind of God eons before this tangible universe unfolded. Reflecting on these truths, it becomes pertinent to ask ourselves, if God knew us before a physical form took shape, how does this reality affect our lives today? This awareness becomes a pivot for our daily living and spiritual engagement. We are called to seek God's heart, striving to understand His purpose for us, a purpose rooted in eternal love and wisdom. Our prayers and meditations can align us more deeply with this eternal plan, guiding us through life's trials and triumphs. In recognizing that every individual is a unique product of divine craftsmanship, one resonates with the idea that none of us are ordinary. Each soul is uniquely significant, marked by God's eternal love and a specific purpose. This recognition fosters a powerful sense of belonging and identity, rooting us in the truth that we are not the result of random biological chance, but intentional creations with profound destiny. As we ponder the eternal plan, it behooves us to manifest this knowledge into actions that reflect our faith. Whether through acts of kindness, service to others, or personal spiritual growth, our lives should mirror the intentionality with which we were created. Each day becomes an opportunity to live out the potential that God envisioned when He crafted us, embracing both the mundane and miraculous as essential elements of His plan. Understanding this divine orchestration elevates our perception of humanity and our interconnectedness with all creation. We grasp that our individual stories are intrinsically linked, each playing a crucial role in the greater narrative of life. There's a divine interdependence, a harmony that lies at the heart of God's design, an invitation to live in unity and love as expressions of the divine order. The eternal plan, as revealed in Scripture, calls us to humility and awe. It calls us to join in God's creative work, becoming co-participants in the unfolding of His divine artistry. As we navigate this world, let us carry the knowledge of our heavenly origin and eternal significance, shining as lights, not only for our personal journeys, but also illuminating the paths of others as they discover their places in this eternal masterpiece. Considering the intricacy of our existence, the concept of the soul's pre-birth state is a profound area of contemplation. Let us consider Jeremiah 1 verse 5, where God says, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born I set you apart." This indicates not just a divine foreknowledge, but also a predestined purpose and identity. Our entry into the physical world does not mark the beginning of our existence, but perhaps the continuation of an already unfolding journey. In the unseen waiting, the soul resides in anticipation, aware of a mission and a path it must take in the corporeal realm. This waiting could be likened to an artist's prelude before beginning a masterpiece, where the vision is held in the mind, poised to be brought forth into tangible reality. Each soul carries with it an indelible sense of its destiny, a script written by the divine director, waiting for the right moment to be enacted. Theological ponderings often introduce the concept of a chamber of souls, a mystical place or state where the souls reside before being birthed into flesh. This idea, while not explicitly detailed in Scripture, finds resonance in religious traditions and philosophical musings across cultures. It presents a space where the soul waits, not in emptiness, but in a fertile tension, ready to fulfill the life intended for it. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 7 complements this by stating, "And the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." The cyclical nature of existence suggests that the soul originates from the divine, and to the divine, it must eventually return. Before birth, the soul's existence may be in a state we cannot fully comprehend, but it is a state with purpose and meaning held in God's embrace. Consider this realm of waiting as the symphonic silence before a grand concerto begins. In this silence, there's tension, expectation, and readiness, a reminder that our present physicality is not the commencement of our journey. It's paramount to grasp that before birth, our souls knew their divine assignments, blessed and charged by the Creator to manifest them on earth. In this waiting, souls might gather wisdom, courage, and virtues essential for their earthly mission. Just as education prepares a student for their field, this pre-birth interval might nurture what the soul needs for its material journey. The complexity of our emotions, talents, relationships, and struggles may all find their explanations rooted in this preordained, purposeful waiting. When we reflect on our challenges and triumphs in life, and the inexplicable affinities and aversions we experience, we may wonder how much of this is influenced by the soul's time in the waiting. Did it carry imprints of those it loved, or whom it needed to learn from, or karmic debts to be settled? This invites us to look at our life experiences not as random happenings, but as orchestrated opportunities for growth and fulfillment of our divine purpose. The understanding of the soul's pre-birth is not merely a concept to be academically explored, but a truth to be felt and integrated into our being. It can profoundly change how we perceive our essence and our connection to others, as we recognize the divine thread that knits us all together through the unseen waiting. This awareness empowers our spiritual journey, encouraging us to live with intentionality, knowing we are purposefully here, sent into this world with divine love and intention. Embracing this truth transforms our daily struggles and joys into elements of a larger divine narrative. In doing so, we come to appreciate our unique journey, rooted in the divine, carrying pieces of eternity, weaving our life story with every choice we make, every moment we embrace, and every truth we live. In the mysterious weave of our existence, there lies an undeniable truth. Our souls bear an ancestral imprint that predates our conscious birth into this world. This spiritual ancestry is not one of bloodlines or genealogies, but of a divine origin that echoes through the corridors of time and into the depth of our being. The Bible speaks to this through verses like Psalm 42, verse 1. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. Here, we witness the innate longing every soul harbors, a profound thirst for a connection with the divine that transcends the material realm. This longing is not incidental, but is woven intrinsically into the fabric of our existence. It is a spiritual compass guiding our journey. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 affirms, "He has also set eternity in the human heart." This reveals the divine design imprinted within us, a beacon that continually draws us towards our Creator, reminding us of our true origin. Imagine, for a moment, a child running in open fields, looking at the sky with wonder. The child doesn't comprehend stars' vastness or the endless expanse of the universe, but feels a pull, a sense of belonging to something greater. This innocence and wonder reflect the soul's recognition of its divine ancestry, an unspoken understanding that it is part of the divine tapestry stretching across eternity. Our lives on earth are marked by this silent yearning as we navigate the complexities of our existence. From the quiet moments of reflection to the tumultuous storms that shake our being, there's a persistent echo, a whisper of something more profound, a quiet reminder of the divine origin of our soul. This longing pushes us to seek, to understand, and ultimately to reconnect with our Creator. In a world that often clouds our vision with superficial pursuits, it is easy to lose sight of this divine connection. Yet, deep within, our soul never forgets. This is the inescapable ancestry the Bible speaks of, a divine heritage that urges every heart towards its source. It manifests in our desire for purpose, meaning, and the profound spiritual experiences that touch us at our core, pointing to a reality beyond what our eyes can see. This divine longing often reveals itself in our lives subtly, like a whisper or a soft melody, gently calling us back to our origins. It is seen in moments of awe, such as when you witness the birth of a child or the overwhelming beauty of a sunset. It can appear in times of deep reflection or when we face life's challenges and feel a pull towards something greater than ourselves. These moments remind us of the divine origin of our souls and urge us to seek understanding and connection with the Creator. Spiritually, this longing can be likened to a conversation between you and the divine, cultivated in prayer and meditation. Through small daily practices, such as pausing to express gratitude, immersing in Scripture, or simply acknowledging God's presence, we attune ourselves to this inescapable ancestry. Such practices act like spiritual homing beacons, guiding us back to the source and offering comfort and clarity amidst the chaos of the world. Furthermore, community plays a vital role in nurturing this divine connection. Engaging with others on the same spiritual journey can ignite and sustain our longing. Shared stories and experiences create a tapestry of belonging that colors our path back to the Creator. By immersing ourselves in communities that embrace these values, we cultivate a deeper understanding of our divine heritage. Even as society changes and evolves, the divine call remains unchanged. Over centuries and through every era, this longing transcends cultural and temporal boundaries. It is a reminder of our purpose and the eternal destiny carved into our very being by the divine. Understanding and embracing this inescapable ancestry allows us to transcend the limitations of this earthly plane. It It enables us to view our experiences through a divine lens, recognizing that our earthly struggles are not just circumstances to endure, but spiritual opportunities that enrich our souls. In these reflections, let us turn willingly towards this divine longing, guiding us to our Creator with every step we take. The soul's yearning is not to be feared or ignored, but to be heeded as a call to return to our divine roots. In the subsequent exploration of the return to origin, we will see how the soul's ultimate journey comes full circle, returning us to the divine embrace that awaits beyond this earthly life. As this longing guides us, it enables us to live with purpose and fulfill the divine legacy imprinted within our hearts, leading us back to the divine embrace from whence we came. As we move toward the understanding of our soul's journey, the concept of the return to origin brings a profound sense of peace and completeness, asserting that our existence does not conclude with our physical demise, but extends to an ultimate reunification with our Creator. In the grand narrative God has composed, our souls are born from His divine breath, and, after traversing the challenges and joys of earthly life, they return to Him, enriched but unburdened by earthly concerns. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 7 beautifully captures this homecoming with the words, "And the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." This perspective brings a new dimension to understanding our life significance. The soul's return is not a moment of loss, but of fulfillment. It is here that the longings of our heart, the whispers of divine connection we've sensed throughout our life, meet their answer. The intimations of the sacred, which have been woven into our existence since our beginning, find resolution as we enter into the presence of God, where our soul's journey stands complete. The divine plan, carefully crafted, reaches its conclusion, and our spiritual essence is absorbed back into the source from which it sprang. The book of Hebrews acknowledges this inevitability by stating in Hebrews 9 verse 27, "And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment." This passage reminds us that the conclusion of our physical life is but a transition to a divine audience, where our earthly choices are gently but earnestly examined. This judgment, while often seen in a foreboding light, should instead be regarded with hope and expectation. It's a divine engagement, an opportunity to stand before God, who knows the intricacies of our journey and the sincerity of our efforts towards goodness. Judgment is not merely about divine accounting. It is about ultimate understanding and acceptance. Our souls, transcending earthly boundaries, find themselves in communion with God, who washes away the earthly trials and refines what's eternal. Here, in His presence, we understand the larger symphony of existence, and our soul rests, complete and perfect. This reunion with the divine is the fulfillment of the soul's purpose. Throughout our lives, we felt the urging of this divine pull, echoing Psalm 42 verse 1, where the psalmist describes the soul's thirst for God. Like a deer panting for streams, our souls have yearned for the living God, and in this sacred reunion, that thirst is slaked by an endless fountain of grace. The mysteries of life and the struggles faced are illuminated under the gentle light of divine understanding, making the soul's journey an integral part of God's eternal tapestry. When we envision our souls coming back to God, we find assurance in the continuity of love and purpose. It's as if life is a pilgrimage whereby each step, whether faltering or steadfast, leads us toward this grand return. Our stories, with all their colors, contribute to the richness of this divine assembly. As we embark on this reunion, we do not enter with trepidation, but with the assurance that we are home, our souls cradled in the warmth of their Maker. Moreover, this return should inspire our earthly existence. Knowing we are headed back to such exalted peace should invigorate our actions with love, compassion, and faithfulness. It should encourage us to cultivate relationships, forgive willingly, and love abundantly as reflections of His divine image. These actions are the offerings we bring to the divine encounter, knowing they're the fruits of a life dedicated to the higher calling. In the blessed company of God, the soul finds its questions answered and its purpose fulfilled. It is a return to the state of being for which it was originally fashioned, an embrace of eternal love and joy that transcends all human understanding. Here, in the quiet company of the divine, the soul's odyssey finds its ultimate rest, a glorious homecoming to the one who has been waiting lovingly for our return.